Hi everyone, it's a brand new year. I know a few people who set their goals to practice more or just be a better guitarist. So I decided to share to all of you my 5 secrets to better playing based on my own experience and practice over the years.
So if you just picked up the guitar or have played it for a few years, or just a regular guy or girl who wants to take your playing to the next level, this video is for you.
Here are 5 secrets that will make you a better player. Number 1. Practicing bends. Guitar bending is a really useful technique and something worthwhile to spend more of your time in. So this is how I practice my bends.
So first of all, we're going to be bending semitones. And I'll be demonstrating to you using my ring finger. So the first note is A. And the desired note is A sharp. And there are 4 notes per set. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 set. So let me show you one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So you don't really want to hear the transition in between. It's kind of like staccato.
That's the famous phrase that musicians hear all the time. Muscle memory. So it's the same with bending a tone.
To make it more challenging, try the exercise with the metronome.
You can do this practice with the other strings and other fingers. And I guarantee you, over time, do this long enough, your bending is gonna sound so good. Number 2, practice picking hard. Picking hard is one of the essential elements in building your guitar tone. When I say guitar tone, it means that the tone that comes from your fingers when you play. When you learn to pick hard, your tone would eventually pop out. Especially when playing in a band, it's important that a guitarist just stand out sometimes. Not all the time, but most of the time. Other than that, picking hard improves your groove. And by improving your groove, you improve your rhythm as well. There's a video from Tyler Larson from his channel Music is Win. He talks about why rhythm is the most important element in musicianship. For example, here's a passage for your daily practice.
Rather than playing it this way, play it this way. So the second sounds way better. So you can apply this and make it a habit to pick hard whenever you play. For example, the good old chromatic exercise.
And interestingly, picking hard gives me more confidence while performing. And especially in rock music, audience just like seeing people who have balls, just rock it out, not timid. Practice without an amp. I know all of you rockers want to plug it in to all the effects that you can get and crank up the amp, but it's really important that you start from the foundation, which is building your tone without all the other noise added in.
If you can play a song and sound good without an amp, imagine how great you would sound with an amp and all the effects plugged in.
Number 3, learn to control. Yes, control. The electric guitar is a really sensitive instrument. So whatever you do or don't do, it just amplifies. So if you're a great player, great, it makes you greater. So if you're a horrible player, it makes you worse. So I remember seeing an interview with Satyani. He talks about the importance of learning how to control the instrument. Like the electric guitar has so much overtones when you play it and so much ringing sounds, so much unwanted noise really. So it's important that you learn how to control it to achieve a clear sound when you play. Some people use fret wraps as an accessory to clear out all those sounds, which I personally wouldn't recommend. So now all you guitarists, chill out before you hunt me down. So personally, I've never really used it while performing, recording, or practicing. Fret wraps are actually very good tool to use if you're in the studio because you want to achieve clarity, especially recording. But if you practice with a fret wrap from the beginning of time, I think you kind of train yourself to become a really lazy player. So other than learning how to mute the strings, you just play the notes. So that's not exactly the best thing to do when you just started out.
So for example, we have a fast hammer-on and pull-off lick on the first and second string. And this is how it sounds without effect. If I don't mute the other inactive strings with my right hand, my playing will be really noisy and unclear. Time to turn on the gain, and this is how it sounds without muting versus muting. So I'm not too sure if you can tell, the lower strings were ringing so much more when it wasn't muted. Especially this guitar has a floating bridge, and I was playing with loads of gain. So it is bound to sound dirtier if I don't mute the inactive strings.
So I'm definitely not dissing anyone who uses a fret wrap because I just personally don't use it. I just learned the hard way to how to control the guitar. Sometimes I just want to access to the open string easily and quickly. Like, you know, it doesn't really work if you have a fret wrap here and you have to push it away and play the open string. So there are actually amazing guitarists who use a fret wrap, like Guthrie Govan or Andy James. So let me know in the comments below if you know any more guitarists who uses that, or if you think that it's just a complete waste of time using a fret wrap. So let me know. Practice with an amp because you want to hear all the faults that you're playing.
In short, practice with an amp to build your tone, and practice without an amp to learn to control.
Number 4, train your ears. Train your ears to listen to the characteristic of the note rather than just playing the right notes. There are many identical notes across the fretboard and all of them just sound different. It's like they have their own personality. Really, you just need to spend time with the guitar and find the right notes and right position.
For instance, the A note on the 2nd fret versus the A note on the 7th fret has different tonality. Therefore, it has different characteristics. So when you play a song, it is important not to just copy the notes or tabs. Try playing it on different frets and see how it feels. So for example, here's a simple lick. Both of them have the same notes and technique. The differences are the strings and the fret positions. So ask yourself, does it sound good? Does it flow smoothly to the next line? And does it achieve its purpose?
But of course, if you're new to guitar and you just want to improve your overall playing or dexterity, I would suggest you to go back to point number 1 and 3 and come back to number 4 when you're ready. Number 5, training your brain.
This is kind of a hacker to how to build speed. Let's say you have a really fast passage to play, like Flight of the Bumblebee. It's semi-quaver in 210 beats per minute, so that's 4 notes per beat. Let's say you start from 120, sounding great. Then you move up to 130, 140, and so on. But when you reach 190, you just can't seem to go over the mark. What do? This is where the brain hacking comes in. You put the metronome onto 230, listen to it, sing it inside your head, picturing yourself playing it. Then try to play that passage. Do that for a couple of times. Then go back to the intent tempo, which is 210. 90% of the time, you will be able to catch up with the speed.
So for example, when I was learning John Petrucci's Happy song, and back then it was called Cloud 10, I had trouble playing the main riff. It was just really hard to catch up. It was 160 BPM with semi-quaver notes and string skipping as well. So my teacher asked me to start from slow, let's say 120 or 90, to practice the accuracy of the notes, like what you play. And you slowly bring it up until you can't play it at all, you can't catch up. And then you put it to like 200 or 210 and then try to catch up with it a couple of times. And then you turn down to the intended tempo, which is 160. And then I did that, and guess what? I played the riff. I was so happy. So there you go. 5 tips to better playing. And because you watch until this far, I'm going to share to you an extra tip. A bonus tip. Change the pickups. So changing the pickups. And I don't mean changing the hardware. I mean that changing this in the middle of songs where appropriate. So when I was a fairly new player, I always play and perform with the neck pickup because it makes you sound really smooth. But I was missing the attitude from the bridge pickup. So just listen to this. I'm on neck pickup now. Versus bridge pickup. With that little tiny change, it just sounds so different. One good example was November Rain that I did a couple of months back. I was playing it with the bridge pickup because I was thinking, oh yeah, it's a lead and it's a solo, I need to stand out and be confident. But I was wrong. The whole solo sounded like really blaring it loud and like really shouting in listener's ear. Had to listen to Slash again and I found out that, oh, he actually uses the neck pickup. So I tried and wow, it just sounds so different. It sounds graceful, it sounds strong, and it sounds tender. It's just how it's supposed to be. So there you have it. I hope you find the tips useful and you can add it to your daily practice, daily routine. So let me know down in the comments below if you agree with the tips that I gave or you have more secrets to share. And if you like this video, check out my Patreon page for more things like that. And also, a quick shout out to all my patrons. Thank you so much for your support. Lastly, if you want to find out more about the gears and accessories that I use, feel free to check out my Amazon shop. They are affiliated links. So if you purchase from one of them, it doesn't cost you any extra cents at all. And I get to earn a small commission, which helps me in making these videos. So it's a win. So till next time, see you again. Bye!